Amongst the feedback we've had, I had a good letter in from Paul Atwater, and he was talking about the business of seeding that we went through, and his view, which I'll produce the letter in full, but his view is pretty much that racing managers need to take a firmer stance, and he's all seems to be hinting, at least to me, people can judge for themselves when they read the letter, that sometimes or more often racing managers need to overturn trainers' decisions because trainers aren't necessarily acting in the best interest of the race overall, only their own dog.
Yeah, I 100% think that. I've seen some, and actually, you could actually say you see some at their own tracks when it's graded, the seeded middle or wide, and when it comes to an open race, they allow them to seed it rails. Well, if you're graded racing and you wouldn't allow it to run on a rail, why are you going to allow it to run on a rail in an open race? So, they really do. They need to go up there and put the foot down with people sometimes. I don't mind if people put the foot down with me. If I'm in the wrong, I'm in the wrong, and you have to accept it.
So how do we proceed that then? We can talk theory sitting here talking on a Zoom call, but how do we actually make that more likely?
Well, if it's a competition, I would think most people would want to try and give the dog a look round a track for a competition. So if they've come and had a look round, you can soon look at your own comments where you've put down that dog's actually ran, and you work off the back of that. Now, if it's a one-off and you totally disagree with what somebody's asking to enter their dog, you tell them they either accept that seeding of what you think it should be, and if they don't, then they'll have to enter somewhere else or bring the dog for a trial for the following week.
Yeah.
So, trials, you give a dog a solo trial, it run where it wants to run, and you can see where it wants to run. So, it's too many of these people thinking it will give the dog an edge if they hold the dog on the inside a little bit or the outside and get round the bend. It's all for trying to have the safety and the welfare. And that's what this is all about. We all talk about welfare, and yet when it comes to other certain sides of things, welfare partly goes out the window. Well, you can't have that. It's one or the other.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm taking the alternative view here, and that racing managers face a load of crap. And do you think that trainers will kick off if racing managers start to be a lot tougher? I mean, I remember years ago, Bob Rowe in the Derby was adamant, but he had the kind of the clout to go with it, and he would tell trainers, no, that isn't running unless it goes to the seed that I'm telling you.
Racing managers still got the clout. The racing managers have still got the clout. They've got the final say on it. So if the racing manager does not want to accept that seeding, you don't have to accept that seeding. So, and if they've got management behind them, what's saying, oh, no, no, no. Well, let's hear about it, because, we need to stamp that out. We want clean racing. That's what it's all about. Let the best dog win.
I would say Paul is obviously a very experienced dog man. So when somebody like him feels so strongly about it that maybe racing managers should stand up a little stronger, it's well worth listening to.